into 2024. 1st of January, about 9 AM, heading out for my annual reflection run, where I go out for a 30-minute run thereabouts, 5-6 Ks, and I divide into 3 segments. First segment focusing on reflecting on the past year and past running. Second segment focusing on where the running journey is going, and then the third one focusing on the present and my gratitude for everyone who supports me on the running journey. So let's go do it. Back on the trails for 2024. I'm halfway through the first segment and reflecting on the past year, a bit further back as well with my running. So far I've reflected on the Orange Marathon in March last year, where I hit the wall around that 34k mark. And you know, you look at things in this time of what could you have done better in training, what worked, what didn't. But definitely the common theme that keeps coming up as I look at the Orange Marathon re-dig about a month later is just consistency in the training. The Orange Marathon, probably not enough long runs under my belt, especially at race pace. That was the key there, race pace. I went out with a goal pace, chasing a Boston qualifier, and not enough training at race pace for that. Re-dig, pleased with my determination, resilience there after being sent the wrong way by a marshal and ended up having 3-4 Ks added to my race, sitting in 3rd or 4th at the time. Wasn't real happy, but didn't let it get to me and persisted right to the end. It's pretty fitting to finish the first segment 12 minutes down with a climb. Miley Cyrus sings in her song The Climb, there's always going to be another mountain. And it's true. You'll be willing to tackle that mountain. COVID hit me in April and I missed out on a UTA 100, which I've been training for. It was a kick in the guts. And one, it took a while to get over the COVID, but also just to get mentally back in the game after putting in all the effort to get to a certain point and then not get to do the race. Yeah, it hurt. Anyway, so reassess the year remaining, and 3 big races, or 3 key races, were City of Surf, which was one of my probably proudest runs, definitely in recent years. I had a bounty on the line for that one. A generous donator from the Ant Nest from Ant Fitness had put up $500 to the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation if I could come in under a certain time, which was 65 minutes, I think, 63 minutes. And I smashed it, and just pure determination on that run. As most of my followers will know, I've battled anxiety disorder since July 19, and probably a byproduct of that, I guess, is not pushing myself hard enough or to my fullest potential, especially in terms of intensity. And that City of Surf was a real proud run for me, and scored the $500 extra donation for the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation, one of the charities very close to my heart. Followed that up about 5-6 weeks later with the Sydney Marathon, which marathon number 13 for me, and was my toughest ever. The mercury climbed into the 30s. I was hot from 5Ks on, and runners were just dropping around you, and it was simply one foot in front of the other, go through the routine at each drink station, water over the head, some Gatorade, some water with a gel. It was all about getting to the finish, because again, I was running for the half foundation and kilometre dedications that people put forward. And that's the thing that comes from those races towards the end of the year. I was running for something bigger than me. I was running for my why, and that's to make a difference to others. That's why I support the 4 charities I do: the Heart Foundation, Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation, Cancer Council, and Mindspot Clinic. So, trail race to tackle Kosciuszko, cross that finish line, running like I was on top of the world, and probably for the first time in 4.5 years, I could almost see the blurred reflection of my former self, creating anxiety. That's what it's about, is finding myself, making a difference. Whew. Another climb. 23 minutes gone for those playing along at home. When I got to the bottom of that climb, I looked at it and I thought, I'll run the first 20 or so meters, then walk the rest and spend that time continuing to reflect, look towards the future, and that a little bit in my head, that determination is like, you ran up towards Eagles Nest. Well, I didn't run up towards Eagles Nest, I hiked that. Like that, if you haven't seen the clip yet, I can run this, and if I'm going to achieve the things I want to achieve this year, if I'm going to be the best version of myself, running those sort of climbs is what's needed. It's what develops the physical strength, the mental strength. So I ran to the top, which is good. To the future, in summary, very quickly, because I'm into my gratitude reflection now. The Boston project, to achieve a Boston qualifier, to fulfill a goal, a dream, a pledge I made to some Boston people at the start line in New York in 2013, 10 years ago. It's still there, high on the list. If you look at my running board at home, number 1 is a Boston qualifier. This year, maybe not necessarily the year I'm chasing it. May shelve it for 12 months, still pondering it. I've got some other unfinished business to take care of, I think, on the trails. One, I want to be part of the Salomon Golden Trail Series here in Australia for the first time. The trail series they do over in Europe and America for amateurs and elite runners, and they're bringing it here to Australia with 4 races, and I'd like to be part of at least 2 of them, if not 3, just to challenge myself, take myself outside the comfort zone, and I guess, you know, be on the stage, the world stage, so to speak, with some elite runners, and just see, you know, how my performance compares, I guess, as a challenge, personal challenge. Sit a surface there as always. I'd like to think I'll do a marathon, but it's maybe not. We'll see where that leads for a Boston qualifier. As I said, we may shelve it for 12 months. And then there's a 100k distance that I missed out on this year. I've never done officially. I've done one in preparation for Sasonda Monster, but I've never done one officially, so I got my eyes on one of them too, towards the end of the year. So we'll go and continue pondering after the run as well. I'll sit and write out some goals, break it down to stepping stones, and then share with everyone. Okay, time for what is I regard as the most important part of this run, and that's the reflection on the people that make it all possible, that support me in the process of the Running with Heart journey, and believe in me, my gratitude to them. This next 10 or so minutes is dedicated to them. Back at the trailhead, reflection run for 2024 completed. I'm out of condition. That's my first real run, my first personal training run since Kosciuszko, on the 7th of December. And I can feel it. Flew through too many hills in there for a reflection run. Anyway, that last 7-8 minutes, which is my own quiet time with God, and praying and reflecting on, showing gratitude to the people who support my journey. I'm not going to name names. I don't do it for the spotlight or glory, but you all know who you are, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. But particularly I want to mention the 4 charities I run for: Heart Foundation, Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation, Cancer Council, and the Mindspot Clinic. All 4 charities will feature heavily in my plans for this year. I run for them, not for myself, and they're my why, and the people who are associated in some way with those charities, you're all the reason I run. Thanks for following, everyone. Enjoy the new year, have a great one, and remember, every kilometre running with heart.